now.
An urgent warning tonight about fake cops. Cleveland police say crooks are slapping red and blue flashing lights on their cars, pulling over drivers, then robbing and even carjacking them at gunpoint. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Nelson. This terrifying crime happening at least 4 times in the past few weeks on both sides of town. The suspects even threatening some victims with an assault-style rifle. Here's Sia New Yorker with the 19 Crime Alert.
Cleveland police are issuing a warning. Be on the lookout for fake cops.
Definitely concerning, and we do want people to be aware. It is important to note that there have been no incidents that involve actual Cleveland police vehicles.
Cleveland Police Detective Sergeant Jennifer Chott says there have been at least 4 incidents in the last month where individuals impersonated police officers by stopping drivers using red and blue strobe lights before robbing them at gunpoint. Chott said the suspects used an AK-style rifle among other firearms.
We know that we haven't had any police vehicles stolen. There's no reports of anyone being approached in a marked car of any kind, and there's no reports of anyone being approached by someone who's wearing like actual police insignias.
Here's where the incidents happened. On March 7th, near Route 2 and West 45th Street, a man was pulled over by suspects in a dark-colored Honda Accord, displaying emergency lights, and then robbed at gunpoint. On March 28th, near 152nd and Lakeshore Boulevard, a man was pulled over by suspects in a dark-colored Jeep Grand Cherokee and robbed at gunpoint. And just this weekend, on Friday, March 31st, 2 people were pulled over in the 3200 block of West 65th Street by suspects in a Volkswagen SUV, displaying those same emergency-type lights, and robbed of their property at gunpoint. And early Saturday morning on April 1st, police said an unknown number of suspects driving a Kia Sportage displaying those emergency lights pulled over a victim in the 3000 block of West 48th Street and stole the victim's property and their car, a 2019 Dodge Charger, at gunpoint. Police said anyone with concerns of being pulled over by an unmarked vehicle should call 911 to confirm the validity of the traffic stop. The string of robberies are still under investigation, but any tips can be left anonymously. Reporting in Cleveland, Sia New Yorker, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate